Welcome back to my channel, artists. Today we'll be doing finger knitting. Step number 1, wrap it around your index finger. So you're going to take the hand you don't normally write with and you're going to wrap it across your hand and then around your index finger one time. Step number 2, pull the bottom loop twice. So the bottom part that was on across your hand, you'll pull it over and then pull the next bottom loop over again to make what's called a slip knot and attach it really nicely to your index finger. Step number 3, wrap each finger. Take the longer piece of string that's still attached to the spool, go under and then over to wrap around each of your fingers. Step 4, wrap each finger again. You're going to go backwards, still going under and over. So you've wrapped around each finger except for your pinky finger 2 times. Step 5, pull the bottom loop over the top loop, and so that your finger goes through, and then, again, going to the next finger, pulling the bottom loop over and the bottom loop over. Step 6, wrap your fingers and pull over. So again, this time you're going to start at the top. You're going to go skipping that first finger. You're going to go bottom from the under, over, pull, wrapping and then pulling the bottom loop over the top loop, pull the bottom loop over the top loop. This kind of takes a little bit of practice, so go slow. As you go, you're going to, of course, go behind your finger and then over the top of your finger, or under your finger and then over the top, whatever makes the most sense to you, over each finger until you get to the end. Then you pull the bottom loop over each of those fingers, and then you continue along that way. You'll notice that that end finger never gets wrapped twice. So like this time that my index finger didn't get wrapped twice, and then the next time it'll be my pinky finger that doesn't get wrapped twice. That is part of the knitting step. Again, go slow through this. If you need to pause the video and try it, and as you work, go ahead and do that, because these steps can be a little bit confusing, but once you get started, you can keep going forever and ever. Once you feel like your knitting is long enough, you're ready for step 7, to cut the end. So you want to cut at least 6 inches, maybe a little bit longer, off of the end of your the part that's connected to the spool, so that you have enough to tie it to the end. Step 8, you're going to thread it through each loop. So you'll thread it through one loop and then, of course, pull that loop off of your hand, thread it through the next loop. Once you've threaded through all of the loops one time and it's off your hand, you want to thread it through them a second time. I even like to sometimes tie a knot at the end just to make sure that it does not come undone. Knitting. I hope you have enjoyed learning how to do finger knitting with us today. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on all the fun and fantastic things we are doing in the art classroom. What will you create?